Good Monday, makers. My name is Jake, and this week's episode, we're checking out a side table, a dry erase board cart, greenhouse benches, recumbent trike armrest, and a garbage can caddy. All kinds of great builds and cool things incorporated into them. So let's jump in and check them out. First up is this build from Deb, the head chicken chaser. I like that. And she built a side table here, as you can see, that fits perfectly over this dog kennel. So they just wanted to add some surface space. Looks like, as you can see, this takes up a lot of room, but they're able to add a table on top, which just adds some more surface area and a place to put things down on. And the way they did it was with the Maker Pipe Simple Desk Kit, which comes with 6 90-degree connectors and 2 T connectors. And then Deb basically used the 4 90s at the top and customized the dimensions of these 4 pipes that go around to fit around the kennel nicely. And then there's 4 verticals that go up into each of the 90s, or 1 per 90. And then at the bottom, there's a T connector that sends a pipe back to the back leg. Then there's a 90-degree connector that sends a pipe to the other side. And then another pipe that runs from that back leg to the front 90-degree connector. Nice and simple frame, just a few connectors. And she said she used one hull straps to secure the top. And I think that's just some reclaimed wood. It looks really nice and has a nice finish on top there. So really great project and an awesome solution to add some more surface area to a space like this. And this looks awesome. So thanks so much, Deb, for posting that. Really great to see. Next up is a project from Neil, and this is a bulletin board and dry erase board rolling stand. And as we can see here, it looks awesome. First thing that sticks out to me is the conduit with the red shrink wrap and the silver connectors. This might be the first time that we've seen that combination. And if you don't know, we have silver and black connectors, and we have all sorts of different colors that you can put and wrap around the silver conduit. So you could do, blue and silver, black and black connectors if you want it to be really sleek and hidden. So just different combinations. And I think this is the first time we've seen this, and it looks awesome. So there's silver 90-degree connectors at the bottom, and this just creates the basic rectangle. And there's 4 pipes that go up to the very top. And then it looks like there's some T connectors going from different parts of the build. So like this leg to the leg here in the back behind this board that we can't really see. And I would imagine the same thing here, one going across, and basically just adding those pipes wherever they needed to support the bulletin board or the dry erase board. We can see that this one here is a little bit smaller, and so I imagine the pipes are going across at a different height. And we can definitely tell down here that they're at a different height because there's not one going across there. And so just basically customizing it to fit those different boards. And what's really cool is a hack incorporated into this is the spring clips, which are just screwed into the bulletin board and the dry erase board. And those are able to just pop on and off of the stand frame, which is really cool and makes a really great cart and a really great technique to incorporate into that. And then, of course, the whole thing is on wheels, so it can roll around. And those are just the casters that we have with the inserts on them that hammer into the conduit. It's a great build, a lot of cool things in there, and looks like an awesome solution to be able to roll this around. So thanks so much, Neil, for posting this. Really awesome to see. Next up are some greenhouse benches from Dave. And this is his first MakerPipe project, he said. He's a very avid gardener and grow lots of seedlings, and for both for the garden as well as the annual plant sale at their garden club, which is really cool. And he said he already had this greenhouse with some benches, but he wanted to do something temporary that allows him to fold the benches out of the way. And this is what he came up with. There's a video here that we can check out, and this will be great. We can see it in action. So here it is. We can see they look awesome right there, and they're kind of deployed, as you can see. But then they fold up, which is really awesome. And we'll talk about the solution used for that. And it's just a really great project, but we'll go through the photos here. So here it is, kind of deployed. You can see it flat, and we'll go through some of the details here. So the hinge is actually accomplished by attaching a 1-inch EMT T connector to a really short stub of 1-inch EMT, and that 1-inch EMT is over top of a 3/4 inch pipe, 3/4 inch EMT pipe that runs from one side to the other, as you can see here. So this is a 3/4 inch EMT that's secured to the greenhouse with 2 hole straps, and then it goes all the way the length of the benches. And then anywhere that there needs to be a hinge, there is 1-inch EMT over top of it with a 1-inch EMT T connector. And then there's 3/4 inch EMT inside using the shim that connects the hinge to the frame. So this back pipe is not attached to the front of the frame except by the hinges here, if that makes sense. So this 3/4 inch pipe is attached to the back of the greenhouse, and then the bench here on the front is basically this pipe at the top with the 3/4 inch connector and the 3/4 inch pipe going down. And then there's really no connection here other than the hinge. The 1 inch EMT is over top of the 3/4 inch EMT in the back, and then it hinges up and down. And then we can see that they drilled through the pipe here and added an eye hook with some washers and nut there. And this adds a point to add a carabiner and the chain, and that goes up and attaches to different points in the greenhouse. And then there is, we can see a shot of the frame down without the wood on top. And it looks like some just 2x4s going all the way down across, which is really simple and a great way to do a top like that. And then we can see there's some of the seedling trays. Looks awesome. And then one more time, we'll check out this hinge motion because it's a really great way to do a hinge. As you can see, it hinges really nicely. It's really smooth and simple. And there is a little bit of slop in the between 3/4 inch and 1 inch EMT, but for something like this, I imagine it doesn't really matter that much because the most important thing is that it hinges up out of the way. Because as you can see, this opens up a ton of space over here. And then whenever you're ready to put them down, you can and have a bunch of surface area to put those seedling trays and whatever else you might need on there. So that's really sweet and a great thing to incorporate into builds if you need to do a hinge and kind of do something similar as Dave. We're trying to get some things out of the way. You need to hinge them out of the way. So yeah, really great, Dave. Thanks so much for posting that. Really awesome to see. Next up is a project from ML, and this is a recumbent bike that they have, and they built some armrest for the recumbent trike using maker pipe. And here it is, kind of a shot of it, just the bike itself, and you can see. And these armrests apparently are really expensive if you buy them from the manufacturer or if you buy an off the shelf or kind of aftermarket solution, I guess it would be. And they built them with maker pipe and saved a lot of money apparently, which is really awesome. We always love those stories. And I think we get a close up here if this video will load of the actual armrest, but you can see there that basically they just use a T connector attached to this point on the bike, and then there is a the mount for the recumbent or for the armrest is inside of the T connector and then just mounts right there. So you can imagine it's basically like stirrups, I think, where your forearms rest down in that little armrest and just kind of supports your arms there as you're riding the recumbent bike. So really simple solution, but it's awesome. Doesn't matter if it's simple because it saved a ton of money, which, as I said, is something that we love hearing. We're always glad when you're able to finish a project, especially if it saves you money. So really appreciate you posting that. Really awesome email. Just a great project and nice and simple, and glad it saved you some money. So thanks for posting that. Really appreciate it. Next up is a build from Brian, and this is a garbage can caddy that he made. And here is a really beautiful sketch of everything and the plan for everything with the connectors and the wheels and the garbage cans and all the dimensions. So really awesome. Really appreciate him posting that. We always love to see the kind of plan for a build. And you can see here it is when it's fully finished. And we'll go through and kind of look at some of the things. So here are all the pipes that he figured out the cut list for. And then he cut those, I think, using a grinder wheel, which is a pretty good option if you're familiar with using that tool. You just want to be safe because those can be kind of iffy. But if you use it a lot and you know how to use it, then yeah, great solution for cutting pipe. And I like this guide here that he made. So basically using some nails. It looks like just kind of going in at an angle into this 2x4. It kind of holds the conduit in place and allows him to cut through it. He's also got clamps on there holding it. So that's a really clever solution for cutting. And then here he's got some guides that he printed out for drilling holes into the conduit, which is a really clever solution for making sure that your holes line up. We also saw something from MKE Gadgets a while back. It was a jig for making sure the holes go straight through. I'll link that down below if you want to check it out because it was really cool and just a really great way to make sure the hole is straight and goes through the pipe correctly. And here he is. Looks like he's painting some of the pipe ends. I think maybe it's some kind of sealant. Not entirely sure, but he spray painted the end of those, and then he's got this kind of L bracket here. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but basically you can see it's got mounting points all along it, and he is using those holes that he drilled in the conduit. he's got a bolt running through this L bracket piece and through the conduit, and then secured together. And so this is on this side of it, and this is the side where the casters are. And then this other side has a 9-degree connector in the corners, and then a T connector doing one long continuous pipe from the middle here all the way to the end of this other L bracket piece here. And then there's 4 verticals, and here it is a shot underneath. You can see more of it, more completed. He added the casters into that L bracket piece. I imagine they're made specifically for that. And then here he's got some replacement lawnmower wheels, and he's got this axle that he created. It's a solid axle, which is a good idea, and it's incorporated into the build using crossover clamps, which is a really great way to do that. So you don't have to break up the axle. You can leave it one long continuous piece and just secure it to your build nicely. Looks like he's using some sort of spacer between the pipes here that are crossing over each other, which is actually something really clever that we've never talked about. But if you need to adjust the height of the 2 pipes that are crossing over, you could do some sort of spacer like this, which would be great. And you just, of course, you got to make sure there's enough thread still to be able to tighten it, but it looks like there's plenty. And so that's a great solution. And the lawnmower wheels are on that axle, which is great for rolling it around. And then I think we can see here it is close up on this side of the casters attached, added some end caps and just some other finishing touches. And of course, there's a top rail, which actually kind of, guides the garbage cans and keeps them inside the caddy. And then here we'll look at it all finished again. Looks awesome. It's holding 3 different trash cans. He's got the handle here so he can, grab onto it and pull it and move it around. And just a really great solution. Love the wheels and all the different techniques incorporated into it. Just a really great build. Definitely check it out if you want to do something similar. He's got all the dimensions here. Of course, you could customize those and make it to fit exactly how you want it to with your garbage cans or maybe plastic bins, whatever it may be. So just really cool. Thanks so much for sharing that, Brian. Really awesome to see. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the builds with me. If you want to see any of them in more detail, there'll be a link down below. And if you want to see weekly videos with different build ideas, tips and tricks, hacks, and other things, be sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.